What are our psychic intuitive talents? What are the qualities and characteristics that best describe the sensation and the experience of being psychic? All great questions. Let's get into it. Welcome back, adepts and initiates. We are now on to day 15 of our intuitive experience, looking at today focusing upon our psychic abilities. Now, this is going to be day 1 of 3. We're going to dive into what exactly these psychic intuitive talents are, and generally speaking, some of the qualities and characteristics of what makes us psychic. And so as we go through this process, day 2 and 3, we'll get into a bit more of the experiential pieces. However, for now, let's jump into it. So today we're going to be focusing upon our psychic intuitive awareness and talents. And one of the things about that is often we hear a lot of people saying that they want to be psychic. You know, we just want to know, or we want to see things. You know, so much was this a thing for a lot of people that there actually have been programs to develop this, both from the perspective of just the general public as well as the government. And so being able to access this level of information, data, things that we want to know of others, as well as just generally speaking, that feeling and sensation of knowing ties all of this into what is called our mental body. Now, our mental body is often associated with the electric aspects, or more so our light body systems. Now, that's a whole thing entirely in and of itself. Just know that the areas of both identity, intelligence are all within this area of the mental body system. Now, going down into what path that is, we are now entering into the path of the seer. Now, this is where we just kind of know things, right? My grandmother on the Hawaiian side is Grandma Kamaka, and she had passed away many, many years back. However, Kamaka translates from Hawaiian to English into the eye. And so, sort of a lineage of seers, if you will. And Grandma had this ability in dream state to be able to know when misfortune was going to befall someone within the family. She would have these dreams where if her parents appeared, then something was going to happen to someone in the family. And if they spoke, that often meant that someone was going to pass away. So this is the ability to see and to peek through time and space, because one of the things about psychic specifically, especially along the mental body system, is that it's all about information and data. So one, being able to access it, and that's to a certain degree like the concepts overall, right? The Einsteins, the Teslas, those who have been able to access this information in an incredible way. And to the other extent, it's a matter of constructs, being able to peek through space and time and being able to move beyond some of the boundaries of everyday life. This ties into the element of air if we're talking more about sort of the occult perspective, right? The tarot cards, for example, the swords are related to air, and that's a matter of our own mentality, if you will. And so with my youngest son, for example, it was a really interesting thing because he's a very powerful psychic, and he communicated to myself in ways that were really pretty stellar. And so on his gender reveal party, for example, there was a huge windstorm that was happening in California, which is where we were at. And I was standing outside waiting for people, and I just closed my eyes and listened to the wind. And in that moment, there was an experience that tied to both his English name, Avail, as well as his Hawaiian name, Makanipa Naka'au'au, which is the wisdom in the whispers of the wind. And so I was standing there and I was listening to the wind, and I heard, not through any, physical capacity, yet I heard nonetheless the whispers that were being brought forth and to. Now, as we go in from here, then, we go into more of the realms. Now, realms is generally speaking where a lot of this experience dwells. As we talk more about the dimensional pieces, that gets to be a whole nother level of information. We start to talk about frequency bands, and frequency bands is really a matter of oscillation. Right? It's a matter of being able to tune into the information held within this certain band. However, as a psychic, it also kind of goes into probability as well. So psychics are able to attune effectively to tune in to what's attuned overall. And that comes into a place of dimensional information, or in this case, just being able to tap into what we would otherwise identify as our imagination. What it is that we can see well beyond what it is that we can perceive. The biology ties largely to our nervous system. And so since we're talking about electrical impulses, right, we're talking also about the information that our nervous system is able to gather, information and data that comes in and is always and ever in a place of both monitoring as well as experience. At the bottom, then we get into the qualities, and as we talked about, there's more of a masculine, feminine aspect. For our psychics, it's more projective. It is something that we naturally, think, right? If we're just looking at just the sheer physical capacity, we often have these thoughts in our mind, right? And we are acting upon these thoughts, which are generally tied to our beliefs. And as we go into that, then it is just naturally more flowful for expression. Now, it's also more tangible. We take this from more of a physical perspective. This is, more analytical, methodical in nature. So it's very much tied to that masculine piece overall. And it's something that can tie us into, as we learn how to best navigate this, into the access to information and being able to perceive beyond the boundaries of constructs in our dimension. So basically, psychics can know things that others simply cannot know, and do so through accessing a broader band of frequency or information that allows them to tune into what's happening well beyond our physical reality. Let's get into an exercise. All right, let's go ahead and get into our exercise for today. As we do, I invite you to get into a comfortable location. We are going to, in a moment, go through our process. Our intention today is going to be to really activate our psychic abilities. And so I invite you now to go ahead and close your eyes. And just take a moment to breathe. Breathe easily, normally and naturally. Allowing the steady, the simple sensation of breath to connect into this moment. Simply observing the natural passage and movement of breath. Centering our awareness. Feeling now more rested and relaxed. Balanced and coherent. Quietly now within inside of yourself, set the intention to activate psychic awareness, knowing that any time you so decide that you'll be able to close this connection and reopen it when so desired. Now, with eyes still closed, focus your awareness and attention to a point within your own head, located where your pineal or third eye is. focusing at a point behind your brow, between your eyes. Knowing with each and every breath in, you are breathing into this point, further connecting. And with each and every breath out, allowing it to open, to become more attentive and aware. Breathing in, connecting further. Breathing out, broadening your attention. Even see it within your mind's eye, like a spark of light, becoming brighter, becoming larger as you connect further and expand the horizons of your perception. Now just taking a moment to rest in this moment. Allowing anything visually, sensationally, anything meant for your attention and your awareness to be present now. And now it is time to bring this to a close. Breathe out, allowing all air to expire from your lungs. Breathe in now, slowly, deeply, fully holding this breath. Exhale, allow that release with a sigh and breath. 2 more of those, please. Breathing in slowly, deeply, fully holding this breath. Exhale, allowing that once more again for full breath in. Hold, exhale, allow that release, bringing closure to this exercise. And when ready, please feel free to again open your eyes now, once more, to engage the world around you. Thank you for joining me today. Love and aloha. Take care and ahui ho.